Ever wondered how to make a delicious cinnamon roll cake at home? Picture this, a simple cake batter, swirled with a fragrant cinnamon blend, topped off with a luscious cream cheese glaze. All the flavors of your beloved cinnamon roll, but in a cake that's not only easy to make, but also a delight to devour. A treat that brings the classic breakfast favorite to your table in a fraction of the time. So, get ready for a culinary journey that will take your taste buds on a sweet ride. Before we dive into the baking process, gather all the necessary ingredients. The first thing we'll need is the cake batter. For that, we'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 4 large eggs, and a cup of milk. Don't forget a dash of vanilla extract for that extra flavor. Moving on to the cinnamon swirl, we will need 3/4 of a cup of softened butter, 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. This will give our cake that classic cinnamon roll taste we're after. Lastly, for the cream cheese glaze, you'll need 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of softened butter, 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you're lactose intolerant, you can substitute the cream cheese and milk with dairy-free alternatives. Now that we have everything ready, it's time to create our masterpiece. First things first, we'll make the cake batter. Begin with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, sifted to perfection. This is the foundation of our cake, so we want it just right. Add in 1.5 cups of granulated sugar and a dash of salt. These will give our batter that sweet, addictive flavor we all know and love. Next, we're going to mix in 4 teaspoons of baking powder. This is the secret to a light and fluffy texture. Now, we'll introduce our wet ingredients. Pour in 1.5 cups of milk, followed by 2 eggs and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. These will bind our dry ingredients together and add a touch of richness and aroma. Finally, we'll cut in half a cup of unsalted butter, ensuring it's evenly distributed throughout the batter. This will give our cake a tender crumb and a melt-in-your-mouth texture. With our cake batter ready, we're halfway there. Next up, the cinnamon swirl. Now comes the fun part. Let's create the cinnamon swirl. This is where our cake truly comes to life. We start by combining our ground cinnamon and sugar in a bowl, stirring until it's perfectly blended. This simple mixture is what gives our cake that irresistible, warm cinnamon taste. Once our swirl mix is ready, we'll incorporate it into our cake batter. We do this by spooning the batter into our baking dish, then sprinkling our cinnamon sugar mix on top. Add another layer of batter, another layer of cinnamon sugar, and repeat until we've used up all our ingredients. Next, we'll take a knife and gently swirl it through the batter, creating a beautiful marbled effect. Once we're satisfied with our swirling masterpiece, it's time to bake. We'll pop our cake into a preheated oven, set to a cozy 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and let it bake for about 30 minutes. As our cake bakes to perfection, we'll prepare the cream cheese glaze. While the aroma of the baking cake fills your kitchen, we'll whip up our cream cheese glaze. Start by blending together softened cream cheese, butter, and vanilla extract until smooth. Gradually add in powdered sugar, creating a luscious velvety glaze. Once your cake is fresh from the oven and slightly cooled, drizzle this heavenly glaze all over, letting it seep into every nook and cranny. This final touch amplifies the rich cinnamon flavor, creating a perfect harmony. And there you have it, a delicious cinnamon roll cake right out of your kitchen. Enjoy!